what you're doing is your path of ascension is your transformation. And from your transformation, that's how you're going to transform your connection. It's not waiting on the other person to transform and then you transform. It's your transformation which informs the energy of your connection. And that's the kind of stuff that I really want my community, my collective to really be working on. That's why I created the membership, is so that we can work on that and really create that transformation. And that's why I've been emphasizing that in my Sacred Union energy updates, to not look at it with such a perspective on the relationship and a perspective on the person, to really look at yourself and look at your own journey, because what I'm seeing here is beautiful mirroring. And um, this is actually potential to create a huge shift in your life and in your connection. What I like about this, we're not going to take this literally, and that's where the trigger might be coming up. And allow yourself to look at the trigger as you're seeing this mask kind of energy. Is there a trigger there? As you're seeing this time to let go energy, is there a trigger there? You know that I'm an intuitive reader. I'm not a literal reader. And so I can tell you that the energy that I'm getting from this is vastly different than a literal interpretation. And that's why I'm saying it's so beautiful. You're working on the masculine energy. And as we go through our ascension journey, we do have to look at both, and we do have to work on both within ourselves. That's part of our inner union, right? So allowing ourselves to not just watch readings for what is my masculine thinking, what is my person doing, what is he thinking, what is he feeling, how does he feel about the connection. And I feel like you're beyond that. Like, I just want to be very clear, I feel like you're way beyond that. But I'm just reiterating the importance of that. So for example, if you're watching my collective readings, watch it as a whole and see what messages you get, and then watch it again for your inner masculine. Like, as we're talking about the masculine energy over here, see how it might apply to what you might be yourself working on, because that's your connection. When we're talking about twin flames, your connection is not something outside of yourself. Yes, they might be a physical person, but that physical person is your energy. It is you in another person. That is the twin flame crux. It is you in another person. And so they're going to be your ultimate reflection. They're going to be your ultimate mirror. They're showing you home to yourself. And so what I feel is happening here is you're really working on the masculine energy. And so that's where the focus is right now. It's on the inner masculine energy. And there's a nice mirror that's happening here. So step out as the real you, time to let go. When we take these messages together as that one, as that union, when we take this message together, it is be who you are. Put down that mask. Step out into your true authentic self. Where might you still be holding yourself back? Where might you still be shying away from who you truly are? Where might you still be operating in old programs or old beliefs or old conditioning? Where are you still kind of hiding yourself away or holding yourself back in some form? And look at areas of your life. This isn't just in relationship. Look at different areas of your life, and you might see this playing out in a business. You might see this playing out in friendships. You might see this playing out in maybe even just how you perceive yourself. It's about really connecting so deeply to yourself that nobody's opinions or nobody's perspectives impact how you perceive yourself. That's what it means to be your true authentic self, is you are in your light. You are in your divine connection to yourself. You're so anchored into yourself and so connected to your heart, so connected to your soul, that nothing in the physical world is going to influence or sway that. The masculine within you is what feels secure, safe, stable, and present enough to be able to be your full self, to be able to let go of the version of yourself and become the new version of the divine feminine that you are. So, do you see how the two work hand in hand? As you are becoming and embodying that divine feminine presence that you are, your inner masculine is anchoring in and feeling safe, and that container is expanding. Your nervous system is expanding to feel safe to hold that feminine energy. Well, that's the inner union. Your physical relationship can't reflect that unless you are experiencing that within yourself first. To step out of that old energy, that old story, the old beliefs that you might have been telling yourself, maybe even the old version of your connection that you are holding on to, and allow yourself to expand. And thus, you're allowing your connection to expand. You're allowing your journey to expand. Because that is what the Sacred Union Path of Ascension is all about. It's about that expansion. And I get it because I was there. Along this journey, we can get ourselves trapped in consciousness loops. When we talk about the Divine Masculine, sometimes we talk about, how they're hiding behind masks, how they're hiding behind a facade. Well, we do the same thing, just in different ways. And so we have to let go of those versions of ourselves. We have to let go of the stories and the beliefs that we tell about ourselves in order to allow for that expansion. And that's how we transform. That's how our whole world opens up, and that's how our connection moves forward. This is your time to really level up. It's not about, oh, I have to let go of my counterpart and move on and be with somebody else. You can if you want that. If your soul is calling you to that, allow for that. That might be part of the soulmate path for you. That might be part of your expansion. But what it comes down to is that your soul is craving a new direction for yourself, for your journey. Your soul is craving for that expansion as a whole. So it's not about, I have to let go of my counterpart, I can't be with him. It's about, I have to let go of that past version of myself. I have to allow myself to keep leveling up. I have to allow my consciousness to shift, my beliefs to shift. I have to allow myself to expand. And that comes from a number of different things. It might be a number of different things that will be healed or worked on. The inner growth that you've done and the development that you've done, and don't underestimate the work that you've done. I always say reflect back on where you've come, because you've already come so far, but imagine that there's even so much more to go. And if you're not entirely fulfilled where you are, that's where there's still inner work to do, because your journey will bring you to peace. Your journey will bring you to complete fulfillment, complete joy, regardless of what's happening in your physical experience. Your inner world will be so fulfilled and exciting that it has no choice but to reflect in your external experience. And that is inner union. Feel like, not everybody, there are some coaches and some people in the twin flame community who have that integrity and who are approaching it from the ascension landscape, and I appreciate that. But a lot of people are approaching it with keeping you trapped in consciousness loops, and we're all about breaking you out of that, because it's not about keeping you trapped, it's about the expansion. And so that's where it's time to let go. It's time to let go of the old version of your journey, time to let go of the old version of yourself. And it feels so emphatic. Like, this energy that's coming through that I'm channeling right now feels so passionate, because I feel like you're ready for it. And I feel like it's exciting for you, and you can feel it, and you want it. Like, that's what this feels like. That's why this feels so impassioned. It's because it's like, yes, your soul is like screaming, like, yes, 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 I'm ready for this. And it's because you are. And that's why you're asking yourself if you should move on. It's because you're ready to move forward, not move on, but forward. You're ready to move forward. So just kind of change the language around it. Moving on might have that hint of grief, might have that hint of a trigger about it. Just change the language around it and say, I'm moving forward. Doesn't mean that you're leaving your counterpart behind. It means that you are moving forward in your soul's journey, which your soul's journey is your counterpart's journey too, right? That's the twin flame connection.